guys, it's your girl, Some Assembly Required Sonia, back at another video or another attempt. So today I'm going to show you guys how I did my contour and how I'm going to contour my nose using this Sculpting Trio by Younique. This is in the shade medium. I've already done my eyes. I just did palette 1, which is these neutral, my favorite palette actually, one of them. This neutral palette, and then I did some of the blue lip splash on top as eyeliner. If you guys want a tutorial on that, I'm happy to do it. But for now, I've already primed my face. I did my concealer all along under my eyes, my nose, right here and right here. So basically this triangle I've already concealed, and I've set it with this Touch Behold translucent powder. And then I also used that to bake along here. And so now I'm going to go in with my sculpting. This is a cream product. So for me, the easiest way, like I said, it's already all my foundation, everything's done. I just use my index finger and I press right along the cheekbone. Then you see where the shadow should be cast. I know that a lot of people say from the corner of your mouth to your ear, but then that makes your cheekbones look this way. And for me, I mean, it works for some people and that's great, but for me, it gives me this big alien head and I don't like that. So I try to do mine this way so that it makes the cheekbones stand out like a little bit more horizontally, if that makes sense. So now that I know where my shadow should be, and you can even see the little indent right there, I put some of the product on my finger and I just press it right into there. Press it and move. Press it and move. There we go. So now you have your outline of where you're going to want to do your contour. So now I'm going to go in with their contour brush, and that big hair stuck on it. I'm going to grab a little and I'm going to start pressing it in along my temple, right along that line that I just made, just pressing a little bit of product in there. Just like that. Now I'm going to let the brush do all the work for me, and I'm just going to start brushing like in a C shape. Just kind of light, quick strokes, blending it out right along my forehead. Always use a pointy side down because it's a little bit more narrow than this side. So if you were to do it this way, you're going to get too much color right there, and it's supposed to look almost like a triangle going this way. So always use that little point. And don't go past right around there, like where your eye color ends. I personally wouldn't go any further than that. So we're just blending it up. And you're just letting your brush do all the work. You don't want to press too hard because then you're going to move your foundation and your concealer, and it's going to wind up looking muddy. So you're stippling and you're lightly brushing it up. There we go. Now I'm going to go in with my powder. Actually, I'll do my nose at the same time. So for my nose, what I do is I use a clean finger, throw a little product on there, rub it between both fingers, and I'm just going to go down the bridge of my nose from right here all the way down to here. Not all the way down, otherwise you'll get that Squidward looking nose, if anybody watches SpongeBob. And then whatever's left, just right on top of your nostrils. And that'll give it a smaller, more button nose kind of appearance. So now here you can make the bridge as narrow as you like. I have a bump right on mine right there, so I have to be careful. And then I just blend it. There we go. So you can use a brush for this, but I just find this works easiest. I learned this on one of the beauty pages I watch, and then whatever's left you just kind of rub there so it still pinches it a little bit more. Now I'm going to go in with my with my powder that's about a shade or two lighter than my real one, and or I mean it's real, but my face powder, and I just use my Brillo pad to always clean my brushes just to make sure that there's no color on them. So tap lightly, and I'm going to go over the bridge, maybe going this way. I had already thrown a little bit of highlight, but I forgot I hadn't contoured yet. So right along the bottom part where you did not use that contour. And then you only want that contour to be about maybe a quarter or an eighth of an inch, and the rest should be lighter. So it's going to go from light to dark to light. So using that light powder, I'm going to sharpen up that contour. See, already it looks like that's a natural shadow, but there we go. Probably doing a terrible job because I'm using this as a mirror, but there we go. And always just softly go like this, pinch forward, and it'll straighten out the lines. All right, now I'm going to go in with that same color and my contour brush, lightly go under my eye. Even though it's already set with translucent powder, this just brightens it up and looks more awake. So just in this little tiny area. You don't want to go much further than that. And then I'm going to go in with this shade. And that just kind of blends these, because this is really light and my actual natural shade is like a medium. So that just kind of ties them together. Now that that's done, I'm just going to do a quick bronze using the blush brush. And that'll just add a little bit of warmth. Also, whenever you have a little bit left, you can use it, or if you want to even get some more out of here, you can use it to contour if you have like a gobble neck like me. You just chisel that out. And then I throw a little bit under here, only don't get crazy or you'll look like you have a goatee. And it gives you a powderier appearance. Okay, so. And again, make your line and then brush up and at a C, so that you're not losing this highlight. You don't want to go this way, you're just drawing it up. But you also want that line blended. Now I'm going to go in with Scandalous, very lightly, because I'm going to do a second trick. This is a really dark color, so I don't want to go in with that same brush since it's really dense. I'm going to go in with a lighter, softer brush. There we go. Just one touch on it is more than sufficient. And I'm barely touching my cheek and dippling. It's really hard to see. There we go. That's more than enough. And to give it a really dewy, fresh look, I'm going to add some of my bonbons. I wish I knew what color it is, but it's worn off. It's this corally one. I'll show you on the lips. Really hydrating, really moisturizing. Not tons of color, but it adds a really nice dewy glow. So on top of all that, you just lightly tap a little bit on. See, and it just gives it a little bit more of a wet appearance. It won't budge, it won't move around or make you feel sticky. It's really light, but it does, I think it looks kind of cool and summery. I'm going to throw a little bit of this highlight in Pearly, the back of my hand, using my clean finger. I'm gonna put it from maybe like here to here, and lightly just start touching right around. Highest point of my cheekbone, all the way around, again like a reverse C. This color is really pretty. It's a rose gold, but it's a little too pinky to put down the bridge of your nose and the tip of your nose like some you can do. But if you use a cream and then a powder, I mean, you can just use a cream and you still have quite a bit of highlight. But I always layer them just to get extra bling, because I like that really glowy, summery look. Out of their new line of highlights, this is my favorite by far. So now we're going to set it. Let me get my brush ready. Because after you set it, you want to go in pretty quickly with your powder highlights. You don't want to wait till it dries. All right. While it's wet, I use this iridescent one a tiny bit right there, because that one really makes it stand out. But for the majority of the highlight, I use this one. It's called Lustrous. This is my favorite of the powder highlights. It's pretty universal. It's really flattering on different skin tones. It's great for the bridge, great for the tip of your nose. Cupid's bow. And then before your makeup is set, while it's still a little tacky with that spray, I have really big pores, so I press into the products, and it gives the illusion of sealing those pores, and you don't really see them as pronounced. And then I also tap along the edges of my highlight, so you don't see that harsh line. Just kind of blends it out. Now for my lips, I'm going to keep it soft and nude. Sorry, my lips are kind of dry, and that just exfoliated them. I'm going to go in with Prudent, which I also used as my eyeliner today, to do my inner, my waterline. I'm going to line my lips. I'm kind of over drawing today. Take a quick peek. Okay. I'm going to throw on a little bit of Well-To-Do, which is this really cool nude. And then last but not least, actually I'm lying, there's 2 more steps. I go in with Lustrous right in the center of my lips, and it gives you a more pouty, just on the inner and like down here. And brighter than any lip gloss I've ever seen, I actually get our Uplift Beauty Serum, the tiniest bit, because a little goes a long way. It's moisturizing, it's super glossy, and I put it start in the middle and just let it work out. And it just gives a natural, nicer glow. Now under all this, if you have any harsh lines like right here, I'll go in and blur those lines out with a little bit of my powder, and then I'll throw in a little bit more of the bronzer. Just so there's no harsh line between the highlight and the rest of your makeup. There we go, guys. That's how I do my highlight, my contour. And I'll probably drag this down a tiny bit. Hope you found this, anything good from this, and hope I'm getting better. Obviously I'm not, because I'm still stuttering like crazy, but if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, please leave them in the comment section, because I really want to learn how to do this better. But without knowing what you guys want to learn about or for me to talk about, it's kind of hard, kind of all over the place. So yeah, hopefully I'll do another one. Like I said, if you want to, this is one of the easiest, my go-to eye looks. If you want a tutorial on that, I'm happy to do it. Take care, and I'll talk to you next time.